My neighbor invited me to a comedy show tonight. Not a comedy show, it was just like some stand up comedy downtown. And I was definitely in. This neighbor of mine, he actually invited me to some stand up a couple of weeks ago, which is something that I've never really done in my town, which is Savannah, Georgia. Shout out to all the people in Savannah, Georgia. Just kidding. We're not that cool. Anyways, man, yeah, there's like they'll do stand up like any city, you know what I mean? And I was all in because I really appreciate comedy. I appreciate the people that are willing to put themselves out there and get up on stage in front of a bunch of strangers and risk, you know, humiliation or whatever. And so I appreciate the art. I really do. I love comedy. It's not really my thing, even though we may be cracking some jokes here and there every once in a while. But there's one thing that I noticed actually within these last two nights of just going out and seeing a couple of stand up comics perform. I guess it's just me. It's a me thing. You know what I mean? Like every person's different. But the amount of jokes that are made essentially about porn, right? Like is a little disturbing, like and a little disappointing. I have to be completely honest. There's a bunch of stand-up comics right now that are making jokes about Cornhub. We'll call it that. Cornhub. I'm not sure what the YouTube algorithm will pick up in my speech and what will be banned or not. But in case you didn't know, Cornhub has been banned in the US, which, because I have actually not watched any porn for about a year and a half, believe it or not. That was something that I gave up as a 30-year-old man um, for various reasons, not because I'm like more righteous or holy or, any of that. Um, it's just something that I truly believe has a negative impact on men's mental health and the way that men view women over the long term, if that's the kind of media that you're constantly consuming. So, anyways, I just think it's kind of funny that there's that many comics that think it's good material to come up, to make jokes about like that. And my question to them is, are you that basic? Like, let's get a little more creative. Like, congratulations, you're a guy. You like to have sex. Cool. Like the vulgar jokes about corn, as we'll call it, are just disappointing. It's disappointing. It's disappointing. Am I that surprised? Not really. No, it's definitely the world we live in. That's all I can say about that for sure. Again, you know, I'm a sinner. I have problems. I'm not a perfect person, as I'm sure we will reveal over our journey together. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. But I just wanted to talk about this because I guess you don't see it from like a lot of the mainstream comics, but it's like when you're sitting in this little bar with no more than 30 or 40 people, or sometimes less than that, and you have a dude on stage joking about the fact that he can't access Cornhub anymore. And it's like, oh, like such a big deal. Like, he even made a joke about the fact that there was like some sort of shooting like 2 days after they made the ban on that site. And it was like to the effect of, see, this is what happens when you don't let little boys beat off or something like that. Which is funny, right? Like that's kind of funny if you think about it, to his credit, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I want the standards to be raised a little bit. I one. I'm talking to every comic on the face of the earth right now. Those kind of jokes. And I guess I have had conversations with women, right, that have like given me their input on how they view those things. So inevitably, right, like that impacts my opinion. But when you're doing stand up comedy, half the audience on average is going to be women, right? And so I'm not sure why you'd be making these kinds of jokes that are likely to completely like turn off or offend like half the audience. Now, I understand a lot of women won't be offended by these sorts of things. Awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like truly offended. It's more of like a lack of creativity. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you couldn't come up with anything better. Like, oh, that was good, but a little lowballing there. I don't know. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Like, if you're seeing a stand up comic and they're joking about those sorts of things, what are your thoughts? Drop them in the comments. Curious. I really am. Anyways, yeah. Shout out to my neighbor, Brett. Great guy. Brett is the kind of guy who's like, he'll just come over, like, hey man, they're doing a show downtown. Want to come? And I'm like, yeah, I'm in. And that's the kind of energy you need sometimes from your neighbors, right? To get you out of the house when you won't get out yourself. So, all right, my friends. Hope you had a great day. Just wanted to talk about this. I'll see you in the next one.